What's happening? How you feeling? How was your day? You good? All right, man. Gotta check. If you're not good, man, you gotta let it be known. Can't have people crashing out here. About to be a long springtime, boy. I'm telling you, I can already see it now. The misunderstanding, the delusion, warm weather, space and opportunity equals outrageousness. But quote of the day, man, or a little bit of wisdom that I picked up in life. It's two things I never debate, argue, or oppose. Is somebody else's experience and somebody else's perspective. Can't do it. It's not really something you can argue, because who are you to tell somebody what they experience or how they process certain situations? Who are you to try to rehash situations that you weren't there for? Or who am I to try? Gotta humble myself whenever you having conversations that involve somebody else's experience, somebody else's perspective. It's not just how they feel, but also how they recall things. Even if it's a situation where y'all both were present and they recalling something a little bit different, all you can do is offer your perspective and hope that that gets them to adjust theirs just a little bit. And if they adjust theirs according to new information, cool. And if they don't, you can't make them. All you can do is either not ask their opinion or their perspective, or not ask about their experience, or accept what you're getting. So anytime there's a conversation and somebody else's personal experience comes into play, or their perspective of how they see things come into play, I might question to get more details or try to find a way to sympathize or empathize with them. But as far as like challenging it, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. So when there's like the wars between Apple versus Samsung, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna debate you. You like what you like. But if you say something that don't make sense, all I can do is provide different perspective. I like this phone because it looked better. All right. It's more expensive, so that makes me feel like I'm higher quality. Okay. That's your decision. I'm not going to clown you for it. I'm not going to judge you for it. And I'm going to make sure that you don't do any of that in return. And that involves the topic of the day, geek-ish. I don't know what I do know. I don't even know why I even started the conversation like that. But remember that. Don't question somebody else's experience or their perspective. Or don't challenge it. You can question it. You can ask them more about it, but you're not going to convince them what they went through, they didn't go through. So, yeah. There was a time where Black people, we moved in unison when it came to nerd activity. When we were learning, pretty much went to the same schools, had the same material, learned in the same way, got the same jobs, lived in the same neighborhoods. Like, our path was almost a monolith. Like, you can try it out your life and it's going to be the same as the folk next to you. That also played into purchases we made. Cadillac. A lot of folks had Cadillacs, and I can go into the story of why everybody had Cadillacs, but we'll say that for another day. That also, man, as technology developed, we did the same things entertainment wise. Atari. What's the one before Atari? The Commander, the Commandeer. One of those. Black people. Shh. It's like we made a conscious decision. We're going to mess with this one and not that one. Nintendo 64. Yeah. GameCube. Only if you had the money. Sega. Super Nintendo. Only if you had the money. The 64 was like the one, but the other ones is just like, only if you can afford to spend money on that. Dreamcast. Yeah, that was a rarity. You ain't see too many Dreamcasts out here. PlayStation. It was when the PlayStation came out, we all made the decision, yeah, we're going to go get a PlayStation. PlayStation 2. Oh, man. PlayStation 2 was hit the hood like Jordans. Everybody had a PlayStation 2. Everybody. It was it. It was the system that everybody was messing with. Xbox dropped. Xbox is more like Super Nintendo. If you had the money for it, you ain't got an Xbox. But if you just wanted the gaming system, PlayStation 2. All the way. And then Xbox 360 came out. Folk all transferred to Xbox 360. PS3 came out, man, it wasn't as popular. Xbox 360 was the one getting all the love. And then from there, it split. All right, PS4. After the PS4, next generation of Xbox. It's when it actually became a real competition around that time. And folks pretty much went their own way. I'm going with what I like and what's familiar. I don't really care about what the group is getting no more. This is what I'm used to. This is what the people around me are used to because I could afford it and they used it. I'm going to influence them to get one. And we all going to ride this wave. And after a decade or two, decade and a half, it's all converging back together where, shoot, new systems is basically becoming PCs. So everybody's transferring back to PC and we all coming back together. That is the journey of the video game Ghetto Geek. Black people, man, we love video games. I don't know at what stage of life it blew up, but it hit with the kids. And once you implement something or introduce something to children, they grow up and it becomes a part of their childhood. And once it becomes a part of their childhood, there's a sentimental value to it that as you age, the sentimentality grows as you age. So that's, again, it's one of the reasons why I don't argue somebody's perspective or their experience, because you never know what frame of mind they were in when they were introduced to something. You never know how it made them feel when they were introduced to it. You never know what kind of placeholder it was or what kind of value it had for them in that moment. So you can't argue that shit. Don't need. It's stupid to try. So when folk try to argue Xbox versus PlayStation, ain't no need to argue because you don't know what that system or what that experience was like for that person at the time that they had the experience. You like what you like, but you're really arguing for how it made you feel. Everybody enjoy the shit. And that is the environment of Ghetto Geeks. Black folks, man, we real competitive about a lot of stuff. Competitive as hell. And it's not like I want you to lose. It's been distorted through time. That's our mentality towards each other. But nah, we gonna constantly compete because always iron sharpens iron. What's yours like? What's mine like? This was better. All right, bet we're using this. What's that one like? What's this one like? All right, bet we're gonna use that one instead. Constant competition, because that's how you grow. What's better? All right, bet cool. This is at the top. Make something that's better than that. Constant back and forth. And a lot of these posters up here are connections to video games that I had just from why I jumped in. Like, I don't know. Yeah, folks really can't see that, but one right here, one of the games I could have played for hours, and it wasn't even something that was constantly around. Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage was my ish, boy. Just running around. We get into it. All hands. And it was like the entertainment value that hit me as I was a kid that made it entertaining. It was a guy just coming across the screen. He had long hair. Of course, my old arcade games, they'd be the same person, different colors. The colors are determine how strong somebody was. But Cuz used to come across the screen and he used to come and get you together and just disappear on the other side of the screen. You laid out, you pop back up, Cuz coming back across the screen, getting you together. You gotta put pause on him, and then after you put pause on him, you take the knife for yourself. You used to love that, and it was that little simple, random part of the game that made it stick with me forever. Like, man, Cuz is out here stabbing folk up, and then just disappearing, just cutting out, just. It's hilarious, man. I'm telling you. Wrong shoulder. This one over here. Wrong way. Folk got to know what that is. And honestly, you can't see it right now, but if I was to adjust the camera, it's holographic. Galaga. It's self-explanatory. Play it at the crib, play it in arcades, and it get real. You better get to shooting because they shooting at you. Then you get real good. You get to like the double ships that move in unison. Man, it's crazy. Like, the simpler the games used to be, the harder they used to be. Like, these games now are complex, but they relatively easy. Them games was simple, but hard. Like, man, you got one ship. You gotta shoot all the rest of them ships out the way. Every single one of them. And that part right there, they hit you with that right there. Make you sick, ruin your day. And going to arcades used to be dope, and it's still dope. One of my favorite dates or one of my favorite hobbies is to go to arcades. And like paid arcades, ones where you gotta like spend money to get the coins and insert the coins. Cause when you lose, you actually lose something. You paying to play. If you lose, you paid to lose, and it hit different. It's a whole different feeling when you don't get to start all the way over. Or, for example, anybody who played old video games, when you played the old video games where they didn't have no save points, you just had to play it all the way through, and you died, and you had to start all the way over at the beginning. The people who grew up playing video games like that, completely different. Like, their mindset, their perspective of gaming is totally different from folks who, and I'll respawn later. When there's no respawn and you just have to start completely over, it changes your entire perspective on gaming. And if you are with people who game and have never had the experience, the restart point, it's up to you to introduce them to that suffering that you went through. Where Lion King, you playing majority of the game, you die, back to square one. Another game I love, man. And I love it because my parents used to play it. I remember it on the PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, hands down, be the craziest video game system, because the PlayStation 1 was a game system that had the screen already on it, so you didn't need a TV. You just lift the screen up. You can play the game on the game. Before the handheld PSPs and the GameCube got big, not the GameCube, hands, no options, if you remember that. But the Game Boy, we had the PlayStation with the screen on it. Man, you was a different kind of rich back then, boy. But it was a game on the PlayStation 1 called Fighting Force. I'll never forget it because it was a woman, a blonde white dude. You can't see the poster right here, but all of the games that involve violence always had a blonde white dude as one of the main characters, which I guess increased sales. But if you think about it, you like, why is it blonde white men, blue eyes can run around wreaking havoc in public and it be celebrated? And the backup character, the side character, was always like either a black dude, a random black dude who wore yellow, or some kind of like color, or it's just a big dude. And Fighting Force, the secondary man was the big dude. Man, you used to have to punch the cars, blow the cars up to get weapons, had to fight and beat people up to get food. And wherever you died at, they hit you with here's your high score. Start back at the beginning. Fighting Force it was painful, but it was fun to play. What other game I got on here? Oh, you can't see it, but right up here, right above UU, and next to UU is Blazing Saddles. Pac-Man, because Pac-Man is legendary. But video games are introduced to us at a young age, either from parents or from friends or other family members, and the joy that you got from it, it really shaped your perspective on gaming. And when you grew up in the time period where you had to be in the same room as other people, it was a way to connect, not just through the video game, but shared experience where you both experiencing something in the exact same environment. So it hit different. Gaming online now today is fun, but it's not really a shared experience. You're not going through the experience together. It's like a separate but equal situation compared to one band, one sound. Like, nah, gaming in the same room, hands down, 10 times better than playing online. If you don't agree, look at the passion people got for playing like PUBG or Call of Duty or GTA Online compared to the passion people have for playing Mario Kart or Super Mario Party or 007. There is no bigger like cult community in gaming than people who experience playing 007 multiplayer. Like folks who experienced getting hit with the golden gun will fight you about the experience of playing 007 compared to playing Call of Duty. Like, it's, even if you play Call of Duty multiplayer in the same house, it's not the same as playing 007 on the same screen. Like, the intro song was hidden, and then if you pause the game, the pause screen, they hit you with some trap music, before trap music, as the pause screen of 007 on a Nintendo. It's unimaginable, man. And the thing that made video games so great, going back to the point I was making, is the underlying point to gaming was, it was means to connect. no matter what generation you from, no matter what language you spoke. If you was in the same room playing this video game together, you being entertained together, and you bring yourself closer. You closing any kind of distance that you have between people. And at the ethos of gaming is connection. So the farther we get into AI and gaming online and separating people into their own private spaces, but on the internet, you like weakening what made video games great, which was the connection part. The connection made at whatever time of your life, the connection with who you with, the connection to your prolonged experience, what you experienced during the connection. The main part of video games is connection. And that's why Black people love video games, because we're nurturing people and connection. Anytime Black people can find an excuse to connect or to have a communal event, we'll do that. So gaming has always been a part of Black community. So I don't know at what point they made video games seem geeky. It's always been black friendly. Honestly, I can't think of two Black people that don't play video games or didn't play video games at one point in life, men or women. But a lot of people probably don't play them as much anymore because, I mean, again, you're not connecting. The other part of the show, right? The part that was considered geeky, the bigger part was anime. I still remember my first experience watching animated cartoons, and only then between anime and like regular cartoons is what country they come from. Anime, Japanese, or Asian. I think Korean cartoons are considered anime too, but American cartoons is just cartoons. But anime was more creative. You know, American cartoons was based on racism and shit, being insulting. How can we entertain white kids? So it didn't really cater to African Americans, because if you ever watched the old Popeye, and I've watched it, or the old Mickey Mouse, man, racist. You got half monkey, half human, completely black skin, big lips, like bone earrings, walking around in like grass skirts. That was how Black people were depicted. They was making that shit for white people. So, of course, we ain't too much connect with that. Then, as I started developing more cartoons, Americans, with not really being censored, would put a lot more adult content in the cartoons. So it's a cartoon for kids, and because your underdeveloped mind has no idea what that is, you won't pick it up. But if an adult watches it, they're like, oh no, they talking about rape right there. And the kid's laughing because you're not picking up on that. You're not aware of that. You're ignorant to a lot of these topics, so it's flying over your head. With a lot of the anime that was coming over at the same time with these cartoons, it's a limit to what the Japanese will allow to be put in a cartoon, because again, it's supposed to be for kids. None of that. So when you got to go between cartoons that are wildly inappropriate, wildly ignorant, or ones that are just entertaining, don't lean towards the entertaining ones. And when Samurai Jack and Dragon Ball Z, what was it? Bo, and Inuyasha, Basically, when Toonami dropped on Cartoon Network, it like video games for the first time. Like Jordan's in the streets. What is this? And why have I not known about this sooner? Started with Dragon Ball, like the first huge one. Then Dragon Ball, graduated into Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was, you talking about kids, and these are cartoons for men, because in Japan they separated from age groups and from sexes. They got so many different subcategories now that we can make something just for you, just for what you like. Man, you had a cartoon about aliens with superpowers running around, just throwing hands, trying to figure out who was the strongest. Dragon Ball was it for kids, but watching as an adult now, took 17 episodes for a fight to even get here, and then the fight will last 40 more episodes. It's a painful rewatch. So a lot of folk, we just gonna let the past be the past, and shoot, Dragon Ball still making new stuff today, so we just watch the new stuff because they understand the pacing needs to be a whole lot quicker. But at the same time, Dragon Ball was blowing up. There was an underground king that was being crowned with right here. If you don't know what this one is, I don't even know why you watch anime. Yu Yu Hakusho. Again, for men, it's simple. Catch these hands. What's the show about? Catch these hands. But now, what do they accomplish? A whole lot of people catch these hands, and that's the majority of the show. I'm like, you can't, as a boy, you can't miss. You really can't miss. Then you end up getting like Ultimate Muscle, where make shows about wrestling. Whatever boys are interested in, we're gonna make a show about it. So we're gonna sink our teeth into you early. We done made shows that you enjoy. And then like Dragon Ball, the shows start to age with you. So whatever you like, we're gonna continue to invest in that. A lot of the shows now are not based upon like the new generation of kids, but a lot of the shows now are based on the kids from the 90s. What did they like? What do they like today? We're gonna keep making stuff that they like, because it's such folklore now, and it's entrenched in your Rolodex of hobbies that you're not going to want to live life without this. So we're going to continue to make stuff for you, and you're going to celebrate it, and word of mouth, you're going to spread the news about it till it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it. They cannot separate you from your love from this level of entertainment, because again, we got you when you were young. There's a sentimental connection with this show. So there's a sentimental connection with this type of show. And it made you feel a certain way. And then it continued to make you feel a certain way. And then they took you on a journey where you were allowed to grow within your love for this entertainment. Validated your feelings for this entertainment. It's impossible to separate it. Again, why you don't try to debate somebody's experience or perspective. Especially, that's why aim it at kids. Well, after a point, you don't have to target kids anymore, because the parents are going to raise the kids within the same things that they enjoy. Pay attention to people who loved buying shoes and were sneakerheads as kids. They pass those addictions down to their kids. You smoke weed a lot, chances are you're going to pass that to your kids. If you like sports, your kids are going to grow up watching sports, whether they like it or not. They're going to be knowledgeable, but more often than not, they're going to like it because you like it. Same with anime, same with video games. My parents like it, so I like it. The feeling that they have, I want that feeling. It's monkey see, monkey do. It's contagious. It's communal. Ways to connect. A lot of folks now, their kids watch the shows and they'll watch the shows just so they can have something to connect with their kids about. Video games and anime, communal. You're experiencing what I'm experiencing. We have two different perspectives on it, but we have a common interest and we have a common love for it. Easy. So why was it ever considered geeky? Because, misery loves company. You have something that you truly enjoy. I don't have anything like that, so I'm going to make fun of you and that thing you enjoy, so you don't enjoy it as much. That's one part. The other part is because folks was doing some weird shit. Be honest. Naruto came out. Folks was running through the hallways with their heads down and like their upper body completely horizontal to the ground, sprinting. Head and chest forward, legs back. Looking like a wheelbarrow in reverse, looking dumb as hell. And when you did dumb shit like that, that's when you start making everybody look bad. But can't lie, if you love anime and you started as a kid, whatever your favorite, whatever anime got you into anime, you tried that shit. I'm telling you, if your first anime was Naruto, you tried that Naruto run shit. How do I know? First anime was Dragon Ball Z. So yes, a nigga tried to go Super Saiyan. Did it work? Felt like it. Can't lie. Your introduction to anime is going to be what influences you. Anybody who started off with Dragon Ball Z tried to go Super Saiyan at some point. I mean, the yelling, the flexing, just about to have an aneurysm, a heart attack, a stroke, and a bowel movement at the same time. But as a kid, man, you're easily influenced. I can still remember it right now. Trying to go Super Saiyan and trying to rip my shirt off, little as hell. Looking like a goddamn fool. But, hey, couldn't tell me it wasn't real. I enjoyed it. It was cool with me. But love. And the thing that kind of makes the conversations about these things a little weird is the communities. Again, going back to the first point, two things you can't argue with somebody is their perspective and their experiences. And one of those things is it lends itself to the Black community. Again, Black people, we love it. It's a communal activity. We're going to adopt it. We love this stuff. But naturally, we're competitive. I love this, you love that. Which one of them is better? We can't help it. We can't help it. We have to figure out what's the cream of the crop. And I'm not going to say that's a human thing. That is strictly African American. We have to figure out what is the top of the top. We have to know. We have to know. It is in us. It is embedded in our DNA that we have to figure out what is of the highest quality. That's what we're going to rock with. So when you have the need to figure out what's at the top, and then you have the individual subjectiveness of these activities, it's bound to clash and start some friction. Like, again, people's favorite anime tends to be the one that they had the biggest connection to, and more often than not, it's the one that they started off with. So folks who started off watching Naruto to this day, it is the greatest anime ever created. I didn't start off with Naruto. I didn't watch it until I became an adult. I think is mid. But you are not going to convince somebody who connected with that show as a child that the show is mid. You simply can't, because they're not going to see it from an adult perspective. They're going to see it through the same lens that they experienced it the first time. And you can't argue somebody's perspective or their experience. So a lot of these conversations are really, you're not going to convince me that the joy you get from watching that show is greater than the joy I got from watching this show. And how the fuck do you measure joy to compare joy or pleasure? Count laughs, count smiles. I smiled 72 times that episode. How many times does that show make you smile? You don't measure that shit. So even the toxicity of the conversations or those arguments even become communal, because now you should be leaning heavily on the positivity of it. This made me really feel good. That made you really feel good. I'm going to watch it. And if it doesn't make me feel how that made me feel, it's not going to, we're not doing that. But if you're intellectual, right, there's another step past that where video games take a lot of effort to produce. And then, again, Black people, we got to figure out what's the best. Subconsciously, even the ones of us who can't express the individual detail that we experience while playing, we understand, something about this just ain't right. I don't like how it looks. I don't like how it plays. There's a stiffness to it. And I don't like the soundtrack. And I don't like the relevancy. We constantly checking during this experience. All right, boom. Is it over delivering? Is it everything that I thought it would be and more? Like one, San Andreas. San Andreas over delivered. As a video game now, control is kind of hard, but the story and the cultural relevance was just like, nah, top notch. But Grand Theft Auto tends to do that. They're going to overexceed for that moment and then continue to push it, which is why it takes 17 years for a game to be released. Hold on, I don't even think that's an inaccurate number neither. Let me see, because we still waiting. That's a running joke online right now. We getting all of these things we didn't ask for before we get GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto 5 was released September 17th, 2013. As of today, it is March 10th, 2026. It's almost 13 years ago. It's been 13 years since they dropped a Grand Theft Auto. Hold up. And Grand Theft Auto 4 was released April 29th, 2008. So that's a 5-year difference compared to 13. Yeah, a lot more goes into it. The producers drop new games. Red Dead Redemption, for example. But folks want what they want. Once you get me attached to it and accustomed to it, I now expect that from you. So make it happen. And the longer you make folks wait, the higher the expectation. And the higher the expectation, the harder it is for you to over deliver. And if you do not over deliver, nigga. It's the same with anime. Anime, the more that they drop, all right, cool, I'm getting a new show here, a new show there, a new show here, a new show there. Now I have to double back and watch the whole first season whenever you come out with the next season. And if you're making me wait, you better over deliver. And with anime, graphics, storyline, the writing. The writing is huge with anime. Like whatever theme that you're trying to push, because the thing about anime is each one leans upon a different ethos. Some of them are, hey, the animation is going to be sensational. Some of them punchlines are going to be crazy. Some of them storyline is going to be take you on a roller coaster ride. And then other ones, hey, we're going to take this idea and we're going to build the entire show around this idea. So say it's friendship. We're going to take you through all the turmoil, the obstacles, the trials and tribulations of friendship. And you're going to feel like you're a part of this friendship group by the end of it. And the creativity and the artistic value is appreciated within our community. But the longer you make us wait for it, the better that's gonna be. Because even though folks might have minimal resources in the community, we still understand quality when we see it. It's just embedded in us to always want to see what's at the top, what's at the best. All right, compare, contrast. We always establishing a pecking order. Can't help it. A way to connect. And I always go back to connection, because we don't always like ignorance. Come on, man. Majority of us, regardless of where you come from, affluent, middle class, we all have the opportunity to have a communal experience and all experience something and bond with it as the glue that brings everything together. So shit, even rich people can come over to this side and become ghetto geeks. Tap in.